Alright, hello everyone, it is Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another review. So, at first I debated when I wanted to do this review, but I figured I've seen and played enough to do this review. We are going to be reviewing WWE 2K22. Now, I'm not a professional video game reviewer, analyst, or even professional video game player, although that would be nice, but I am a man who enjoys a good time, and I've definitely had a really good time with this game. I make the argument that this is one of the best WWE games in years. After the whole debacle with W2K20 and the kind of meh 2K Battlegrounds, 2K definitely stepped it up and knocked it out of the park with 2K22 in so many aspects. It's such an improvement from where they were when it came to like 2K20 and everything. There's a lot of modes to choose from, and there's a lot of things to do in this game, and so let's get into it. So now, here's how we're going to do this review. This review is going to be a little weird because, unlike a lot of the other games I reviewed, this game doesn't really have like a plot per se, like one story plot, and then you move through it, and then you beat the main villain, and then the story ends and the game is over. Essentially, no, this game has a lot to do. It's a sports simulation game with like most, if not all, WWE games, and so there's a lot to do. There is a story type mode that we'll talk about, but I'm going to talk about each mode individually. Now, I think the only mode I haven't really played too much is Universe mode and My Faction. Now, Universe mode has been present in other WWE games. It's dating all the way back to like SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, if I'm not mistaken. But I think 2010 might have had it as well. But Universe mode, from what I've seen from other YouTubers who have played 2K22 and everything, who do like Universe mode content often, and including BD, shout out to him, subscribe to his YouTube channel, dude is awesome. But judging from the Universe mode videos and everything, Universe mode looks pretty much the same like it did in the other WWE games, which isn't really a bad thing. Thankfully, Universe mode was one of the things that 2K20 ended up getting right, because they essentially just used what they did from other games. You could customize your universe, you can customize your shows and everything, customize your champions, teams, all that good stuff in Universe mode. And then My Faction, which has like the cards and everything, I haven't really touched. I may play that at some point, but for now I haven't played it yet. But I have played the other modes, and I want to talk about them, starting with, and I got article, the wiki for 2K22 and all the modes it has, so I guess I'll go down in the order that the article mentions them. But I guess I'll start off with the overall game. So overall, and I'll do like the what I like and what I dislike about each. Now, overall, the game looks really good. Even on PS4, it still looks really sharp. You can tell the definite uptick in the graphics and everything, which is good. They got new camera angles, including like the camera angle for the entrances, where it looks like it's a cameraman actually walking with the superstar, and not like a weird fixed camera angle. It actually looks like the cameraman is following the superstars, which is really good. It gives that realistic element to it. And the new camera angle, where it's like elevated a bit when the superstars are in the ring, and gives it more of a realistic look at everything, and which is really, really nice. I do wish that you had the opportunity to like change camera angles, but maybe that's for another WWE game. But there's that. The combat system has been tweaked a little bit. You got new like combos and everything. You can do stuff like the medium strike combos, which you could do in other games, and then there's the strong strike combos, the grapple combos, and stuff like that. And thankfully, the showcase mode, which we'll get to, is kind of a little tutorial for that, because you'll end up doing that for a lot of the matches and everything. But yeah, a lot of good stuff there. The roster is pretty this roster famously had a lot of like ex WWE superstars who, by the time the game came out, a lot of superstars ended up being elite, such as like Karrion Kross or Keith Lee or Kyle O'Reilly. All K's, which is weird, but superstars like that. Yeah, so the roster was outdated. Thankfully, at least one of them, Karrion Kross, has made his way back to WWE, so it's not quite as outdated. But yeah, a bit of an outdated roster, but still a good assortment and multiple DLC. He's including, I'm gonna list them off here: the Bonsai pack, which included Yokozuna, Umaga, Rikishi, Omos, and Casey Catanzaro. Oh, that's a pretty good pack right there. Then the Most Wanted pack, which added Cactus Jack, the Boogeyman, Vader, Ilya Dragunov, and Indy Hartwell. A little sour because Vader and Cactus Jack were in previous games anyway, and now they're being re-released as DLC that you got paid for, which kind of sucks. But the Boogeyman, a man who hadn't been in a WWE game for a while, I think since, I think the last time he was in a WWE game was SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I am, but yeah, he's back here. And of course you got Indy Hartwell, who's in NXT and everything, part of the way and everything. And then Ilya Dragunov, who at least was the NXT UK champion, but of course I believe she did injury and everything. And then we got the Stand backpack, which included the Hurricane, Stacy Keibler, A-Kid, and it was supposed to include MSK, both members of MSK, but Nash Carter got released because of the allegations of abuse and that photo. Yeah, so Wesley just ended up being part of it, even though he still has like the MSK music and the Titantron, but also apparently if you look at the game's files, if you like actually look through the game's files, you can still find the MSK entrance there, and I think you can even still find Nash Carter's character model. So he was like pretty much done in terms of like actually being finished for the game, but because of what happened, they had to cut him, unfortunately. And next we got the Clowning Around pack, which included Doink, Ronda Rousey, another former superstar who's already there to begin with. Same with like British Bulldog, who were in other games being re-released as DLC. But British Bulldog, Mr. T, Dewdrop, and Rick Boogs. Why are we still calling her Dewdrop? Apparently Triple H does want to go back to her old name of Piper Niven. Yes, please. And the final pack, which was the whole damn pack, it included Rob Van Dam, Logan Paul, Machine Gun Kelly, LA Knight, Xia Li, Commander Aziz, and Saray. Which, props to Logan Paul. He's definitely proven his worth in the ring. But MGK, what can you do? It should have been Bad Bunny. I think people would have preferred Bad Bunny instead of like MGK, because Bad Bunny, from what I heard, did some really crazy stuff in his match at Mania 37. And we also got the Undertaker Memorial Pack, which I had to have because big Undertaker fan. I got the NWO for Life pack, which included everything in terms of DLC, and also included the NWO stuff, and which included Hollywood Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Six, and Eric Bischoff. And as well as Bash at the Beach in '96, where Hogan turned heel and joined the NWO, and NWO sold out, aka the pay-per-view that was an NWO specific pay-per-view that sucked, and it also had the NWO Wolfpack Championship. So a lot of superstars that were added, and to make up for Nash Carter not being there, they gave us extra My Faction cards, but it couldn't have been a different DLC character like Cody, who came back. You couldn't have put Cody Rhodes in there, or maybe he'll be DLC later, or something like that, or maybe an NXT 2.0 star like Ron Breakker. But yeah, there's that. So overall roster and everything is pretty good, and gameplay and everything visually is really solid as well. The only downside is that there's the occasional glitch every now and then, and sometimes the reversals, for me anyway, maybe it's just because I suck at the game, but sometimes the reversals don't really come out that well for me. But again, maybe it's just because I'm sucking at the game. Then next we had the 2K Showcase mode, which starred the cover star of 2K22, Rey Mysterio, and a really awesome cover. Rey Mysterio, another one of my absolute favorite wrestlers. And this showcase mode was different from the other ones because rather than like just having the match have be all in-game graphics, and they have commentary try to mirror what they said back then, and even having like modern commentators like Corey Graves and Byron Saxton try to mirror what was being said at that time. Instead, there's no commentary. It's barely in-game audio. It's just music overlaying it, and then you do the matches, and it cuts to real life footage as well. So you get a few matches for Rey Mysterio. I believe you get 12 in total, if I'm not mistaken, and 4 chapters, 3 matches per chapter, starting from Halloween Havoc 97, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, which I reviewed that match, so if you haven't already, go check out that review. From that all the way to Rey teaming with his son Dominic against both Seth Rollins and Murphy. He had Payback 2020, and I do like that it's not like the commentary being like cheesy and everything, trying to replicate what was being said back then. But at the same time, it does feel a little bit bare bones, and the fact that he'll probably finish the showcase in probably a couple hours, whereas it's pretty easy. You go through it pretty quickly. It's really not that long. And we at least get 09 Dolph Ziggler, which means we got 09 Dolph Ziggler music, so that's nice. Next up, that's my faction, which I haven't played. Talked about Universe mode, and let's talk about My GM. So My GM returned for the first time since SmackDown versus Raw 2008, which is crazy. But My GM and something that fans of the W2K series have been begging for years, but we finally got it. And thankfully, it's just as we remembered it. They pretty much did what they did back then for My GM. You can draft your roster, you got a budget, you can book matches, book shows, and everything, and pretty much in full control, and you can compete with the other brands. And I do like how they got the different shows. You can pick your show, and you can pick your general manager, or you can pick William Regal or Adam Pearce or Stephanie McMahon, and you can pick Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, or even NXT UK. And I do like that each manager has like their own little specialty. For example, with William Regal, the one I chose William Regal and SmackDown, and I was able to draft one legend for free, and of course I had to draft Rob Van Dam. But so you can compete. I think the options are like 15 weeks, 25 weeks, and 30 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And you can go all the way to like WrestleMania with this, with the competing and everything here, and just have fun with it. You can fulfill superstar requests. Like if they request to be put in a certain match, you can book them in that match and get morale and stuff like that. And you compete pretty much like they did for My GM. Like I said, My GM back in the day, they brought it back here, and thankfully the fans got what they want, and it was actually pretty solid. I only played it once, but I definitely probably would play it again, which is nice. And you can even choose like which arena or which production or which advertising you want to do for your show to boost up the ratings and stuff like that, which is nice. So a whole lot of control over that. I think the only like downside to that would be he sometimes feels a little unbalanced. It felt like I was losing at just about every turn, which even when I did stuff like right, they gave me recommendations. I tried to follow the recommendations. It still felt like I was coming up short against like my opponent, who was Stephanie McMahon, and the fact that sometimes the recommendations from like Triple H for the day, because he can give you like some challenge recommendations, like don't book this star, book this type of match. And I feel like that kind of hindered me a little bit as well. And the fact that there's not a whole lot of matches to choose from. You can do one-on-one or tag team. You can't really do triple threat or fatal four-way, at least not from what I can find. Maybe I had to play it in more per weeks and everything, because I only did the 15-week one just to try it out. But and you only have a certain amount you only have certain matches, such as like tables or ladders or TLC, Extreme Rule submission, stuff like that. So that was a bit disappointing, because back in the old days with the old My GM mode, you could pick any match, any amount of people you can do. You can do one-on-one, you can do tag team, you can do fatal four-way, you can do triple threat, and you were able to do like that. But otherwise, it's still pretty fun. And then finally, one of the things that, and I gotta talk about the creation suite, which is pretty much the same from other games where you can customize the tires and everything. I spent a lot of time in there, either customizing brand new attires for superstars, or giving them older attires from older WWE games, because I don't like those attires. I don't want to see them on the modern superstar. I wish, and I hope the next game has this, I wish you could change the hair. Like, for example, if I wanted to do Seth Rollins with like his hair up, and then I could do one with his hair down and everything, because sometimes he has the hair up and then sometimes he has the hair down. And I wanted to be able to customize that. If I wanted to give Sheamus his mohawk back, I could do that, stuff like that. And I wish I was able to do. And finally, I want to talk about one of my favorite modes, and a mode I played the crap out of, and that's My Rise. So, My Rise essentially replaces the My Career mode, and it's not like other My Careers where you have a set story and you follow it along. No, what this one does is it branches off into different stories, and the stories change based on A, which show you're on, and B, what your alignment is. So you can be face and heel, and the stories will change up, and you can truly commit to being the face or the heel, even in your replies and everything. And you can change face and heel almost any time, and switch things up from there. Such as like when you're a face, you could like feud with Cameron Grimes or Karrion Kross, us in NXT, or I feud with Tommaso Ciampa on Raw. But when you're a heel, you can do stuff like feuding with the Mysterios, or feuding with Kane. So different stuff that you're able to do as face or heel, and so many different stories to branch off into. And I believe it was like 200 unique stories, if I'm not mistaken, that you're able to do, which is pretty fun. And you can explore the different stories to get different outcomes and everything. And you don't have to stick with one path. You can change showdowns whenever you want. You can change alignments whenever you want, and you can win championships as well. And you'll actually be listed as the champion for that show. So they definitely fleshed out the My Rise there, which is pretty cool. So overall, like I said, probably one of the best WWE games in years. They definitely redeemed themselves from the atrocity that was WWE 2K20. So I recommend, if you haven't already, check out 2K22, because it is a lot of fun. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on my review. And if you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And tomorrow, because it's like 4 in the morning when I'm recording this, but tomorrow, Wednesday, will be the Selena crime analysis. So I'm not sure when that will be up, but hopefully it's not up too late for you guys. But without further ado, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.